everyone, welcome back to Ciao. Samuel and Eva here. You've maybe seen our previous video where we shot a pretty cold and silky dress up in the mountains, and in today's video we're gonna take you along the second project.
So how is it? How is it going?
Actually great, but I don't know where and when, but my hair electrified. They get stuck in your face. No, at least for me it's a struggle when I do photo shoots on a set for a specific client. I rarely to never wear makeup, and when they put makeup on my face, my whole skin breaks out afterwards. And also when they style my hair, it's like the weirdest sensation for me because I never put anything. I think for women, definitely until you have your next bleeding, because the bleeding of a woman is kind of detoxification of your body, and then you get rid of all the heavy metals and stuff which is in makeup, and yeah, I just don't like it.
And you definitely always notice it by getting pink pimples after.
Yeah, definitely breakout and stuff. For example, this I have here is just breakout from bad food, actually.
Nice photography topics.
Yeah, right?
Welcome back also from my side. Thank you again for joining us in today's video. Little side note, it's already been 1 year since over 1 year since we have uploaded our first video on Ciao. So if you haven't checked that out, maybe it's time to look up our oldest videos. Our first video was actually with more snow than today. It was a beautiful mountain hike we did back then with a Leica SL2. And this brings me to today's topic, which is Leica in some sorts, because as you can see, I have hanging around my neck a Leica M11. And today I wanted to use the opportunity to talk about the Leica world and the Leica M11 and shine a different light on it than most other people do on YouTube and on the internet. All the photos you see in today's video are shot with the Leica M11. Expect 2 of them. They were shot with Sony, but I will make sure that's noted. So all the photos were shot with the Leica M11 and a 35mm Voigtlander. Not a pricey Leica glass yet. Let's see. The camera is pricey enough already. I wanted to start with the shooting experience. If you don't know anything about the Leica M system, it's a rangefinder system. So you look through this patch of glass right here and not through the lens directly. So if you have your lens cap on, basically, you will not notice it. Make sure to think about that. And then you have a little window in the middle of your rangefinder where you bring two overlays together, and when they're perfectly matched, you have set your focus. In my experience, this system has been easier than using, let's say, a super modern Sony system where I'm always fiddling around with my focus points. In my opinion, photography is not only about reacting, but also about foreseeing moments. When I see a moment coming, I'm getting in the flow, I'm setting my approximately wanted focus distance, and I'm already preset. Maybe something is going on in the distance, let's say 5 meters to infinity, and I see the moment coming. I'm already with muscle memory setting the distance in some sorts. The moment comes, I'm pulling up the camera and I'm already almost perfectly set, and I can press the shutter. This is what I've experienced with a rangefinder system, especially because it's so simple and there's so little technical adjustments and buttons and settings you have to take. You're really in the moment to make your photograph. I definitely can't give a full-fledged review yet because it's only been 2 weeks and I've only done 2 or 3 proper photo sessions with it. So I'm only going to talk about the Leica world here. I'm not going to talk about prices or if I can recommend you this camera or the Leica or Leica in general. First of all, it's very individual, and I'm just going to tell you very objectively which points you can consider and can't consider when thinking about purchasing into the Leica system. The first negative point I have experienced with this camera is the little ISO dial up here. The camera is so well built and so thought through, in my opinion. You've got beautiful dials, everything is, the quality of every button and dial is so pristine. And then comes the ISO dial. It's also super well built, but the usability of it is horrible. So you can pull it out, if you can pull it out, and pulling it out is so hard. It's a very little dial. It's very hard to to grab on it, and you really have to push with your other hand the camera down, because if I do it one-handed, I can't do it one-handed. It's, in my opinion, the worst usability point of this camera, the worst. I don't know if it's specific to my model, but I don't think so. Of course, you can leave the dial out, so you can leave it out, but then you have the risk of always accidentally switching your ISO settings, and that's not something we want, especially in fast moving situations. So the second negative point I want to talk about, I know I said we'll not talk about pricing. Many people forget that when you buy into a camera system, you forget about accessories, batteries, grips, camera straps, and especially the glass, the lenses. You tend to forget about that. So when you buy into a, let's say, a Fuji GFX or something like this, or a Hasselblad or whatever, yeah, you just bought the camera body, but now you need lenses for it and maybe a second battery. Definitely consider looking at what the market has to offer in terms of that, so you can calculate your real price you will have to pay. One last negative point I want to talk about. It's hard. It's very hard to use. It's a challenge. And this is not only a negative but also a positive point, because I've noticed I'm not just standing here and going like this and this and this and okay, yeah, perfect. I have to take my time. I have to closely look at my composition, and I have to set my focus right. Think about the settings more. With the Sony system I've used and the Fuji system, I became way too brain dead and way too lazy when photographing. This forces me, and I love it, be way more present and thoughtful with my photography. Actually, one more negative point I have to talk about. You have the Leica Photos app, and they're offering image styles for the SL3, for the Q3s. Why doesn't the M11 have these JPEG camera styles? The Leica Lux, I think they called it, or whatever. The first super positive thing I've noticed, the back display of the camera. I've used Sony, as I've said, I've used Canon way back in the days, and I've used Fujifilm. None of the systems I've mentioned offers such a quality back display like the M11. I've used the SL2 and I've used the Q2 the last 2 years. I've sold them. They also had quite superb displays, but I think the M11 definitely has the best one yet. Why is this so critical? Because you've only got the rangefinder, this display is the only one you've got. Checking photos on it very much comes super close to my computer workflow. So on my computer I have a nice display, I can see the colors very accurately, and also the focus. This comes super close to that. Also when showing your model or client or other people, you want a very accurate representation of the photo you made. I think this display offers that superbly. Second point, the build quality, amazing, excluding the ISO dial here. The build quality is amazing. The feel in the hand is amazing. It is quite small. You don't have a deep grip like on a SLR style body, but I appreciate it. I like the two-handed operation of the camera. In my opinion, positive because I can take this camera everywhere. I have this little strap right here and I have it on my body wherever I go. This is super important because you want to have your camera with you to be able to take the photograph whenever it's necessary. And one thing I definitely want to point out is the heritage of the design of this camera. It almost still looks the same like 40 years ago. When I showed the camera Eva's grandpa a few days ago, he immediately recognized it. He had a big smile on his face and he appreciated holding it in his hands and being engaged with the process of looking through the rangefinder, shifting your focus plane to get what you want. So I think the emotions behind this camera, especially the Leica M's, is also very worth it, and the reactions you get from other people. It's a luxurious brand and it's a luxurious price, but it holds so much emotion and value in this kind of aspect that this is also a very positive point of the Leica M system. Talking about the emotional point, when you're working with humans, this camera isn't that big and it offers such amazing image quality and amazing workflow that you can use it very much professionally. And this enables you to use it for, let's say, fashion shoots, editorial shoots, portrait sessions. And when working with humans, when I use big chunky cameras and I look through their viewfinders, often humans get intimidated by that and the connection gets sort of distorted between me and my human subject. And when using the Leica M, it's small, it's friendly, it's stylish looking, it's good looking. People have a completely different reaction to it. And when working portraits, for example, that's also a benefit, I would say. That being said, we will make a detailed video about the Leica M. We've only used it 2 weeks this far, so I can't dive deeper. I hope the points I pointed out today kind of help you in your decision making or maybe shine some different light on the Leica M system not many people talk about online. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for enjoying. I hope you enjoyed today's video and also the photographs we made. I hope you're truly well and we will see you very soon in the next video. Ciao.